Happy Easter, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. I'm so grateful that you joined us today. And I wanted to express gratitude today. I've been doing this every 10:30 service. Today, I'm very aware of the gratitude I feel for all of the illumined teachers that have brought their light and their wisdom to the people of the world and all the different faith traditions that they represent. And because today is a day that many people celebrate the resurrection of that great teacher, Jesus, I'm particularly grateful for him today. And with that, let's go to Amber Darlin and hear some of her wonderful music.
Well, good morning, everyone. We're so glad you're here today. Why don't we start off by singing This Little Light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. That's right. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All of my life, all of my life, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, all of my life, I'm gonna let it shine. Sing it out. All of my life, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, 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 let it shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, well, if you're out there on social media, let your light shine. Tell us who you are. Say where you're from and say hello to this wonderful spiritual community that we have here, based in Bellingham, Washington, but you may be tuning in from anywhere. Your soul is welcome here, and so is mine. Everybody's is. Let's sing My Soul is Welcome Here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Clap, clap. Are you clapping? I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Clap, clap. My soul is welcome here. 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 We're going to move on over to our practitioner of the day for an invocational prayer.
Oops.
Welcome, friends. Please join me in a prayer. Join me in knowing that there is only one wonderful, powerful, divine light shining its presence here, now, through each of us. We are the radiant light of spirit on earth. Every movement we take, every word that we speak, everyone we interact with, we are shining that light of spirit, sharing it and spreading it, lifting everyone up to that divine light, moving through us, through our community, through this city, through this country, through the world, is that divine light of spirit shining forth with love and joy and peace. We are spirit on earth. We are love. We are joy. We are peace. We are a shining light for all to see. And with a grateful, wonderful heart, I release these words, knowing that they are so, and so it is.
All of me designed to perfection. All of me beautiful and sacred. All of me a wonder, expression of the infinite. All of me pure light divine. Let's sing that together. All of me designed to perfection. All of me designed to perfection. All of me beautiful and sacred. All of me beautiful and sacred. A wonder, expression of the infinite. All of me a wonder, expression of the infinite. All of me pure light divine. Let's sing all is love, all is light. 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 All of me, pure light divine. All of me designed to perfection. All of me beautiful and sacred. All of me a wonder, expression of the infinite. All of me pure light divine. All is love, all is light. All is love, pure light divine. All is love, all is light. All is love, all is light. Sing that with me. All is love, all is light. All is love, all is light. All is love, all is light. All of me, pure light divine. All of me, pure light divine. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy, we let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace, we let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Let's feel the love wash over us. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love, we let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Thank you, Amber and Kat. I'm going to invite the bell. And welcome you again to this Easter morning service. I'm going to tell you an Easter story from one of my favorite authors, Wayne Muller, a very incredible, illumined Christian minister. This past Easter, Christine, our son Maxwell, and I spent the day at Santo Domingo Pueblo with Juanita and her children and grandchildren. They were doing the green corn dance, traditionally danced after early morning Easter services at the Mission Church. After the dances, about 15 of us tumbled into the cars and pickup trucks to drive to the hills for the Easter egg hunt. When we got there, we scattered across the land where Juanita had the night before hidden dozens of painted eggs among the cactus, pinyon, juniper, and chamisa. It was quite a sight, children combing the high desert landscape for eggs. At Santo Domingo, the land is dry and difficult to irrigate, and the dust blows hard in the spring. I was helping Maxwell, who at that time was 4 years old, find his share of the treasure. We were looking everywhere, under bushes, in gopher holes, under rocks. At the top of one hill, we came upon Tim, Juanita's teenage son, and we began comparing notes on how many eggs we had found. While we were talking, Tim's eyes were drawn to a pile of yellow sand under a nearby bush. He knelt down and began sifting through the sand with his fingers. "Oh, I need the sand for my pots," he explained. "I've been looking for a color just like this. It will be perfect." Like many Pueblo youths, Tim had learned to make pots from his mother and his older sister, who continue a long tradition of fine clay potters. Because of his love for the clay, Tim saw what I did not see. Tim had more than one thing on his mind. As we all searched the ground for eggs, Tim was simultaneously attuned to the peculiar colors of the hills of Santo Domingo, his eyes alert for just the right color of sand that would put a fine touch on his pots. I, of course, had missed that small pile of yellow sand completely. Standing next to me, Tim saw the rich yellow of dry earth in a way that I simply could not. Whenever I walked on that beautiful hillside, I carried the image of Easter egg in my mind. Thus, whenever I saw sand of any color, I did not really see it at all. When I saw earth, it was simply a signal I had not found an egg. And thus it is with what we choose to love. We place what we love in our mind's eye. Then our eyes seek out those things we have chosen as valuable and important, and our mind discards the rest. So I brought that story to you. You may have heard it before. I love stories that I get to hear more than once. But that particular story has to do with today's topic. Today's topic is the beginning of a month of topics on the prism of experience. And it's part of our larger theme of On the Brink of Everything. And what the prism of experience has to do with this series of topics, it has to do with exactly what Wayne Muller was pointing to in that Easter egg hunt, that the lens of our perception becomes the prism of our experience. And we sort through that prism. And the things that don't fit what we think are valuable are discarded. They're simply not noticed. And this goes on all the time for all of us. It's almost like we have this incredible screen over our mind that sorts for us without any thought at all what's important, what's valuable, and what's not. And so in order for us to actually progress on the spiritual path, not only must we awaken to the fact that our mind is doing this without our conscious control at all, but then we have to awaken to conscious control. And because this is the day that Jesus, the Christ, is celebrated, and just for you who are listening who maybe have not been here on a Sunday during Easter before, I want to remind you that Jesus Christ was not his last name. Christ is a moniker, a designation, and it's sort of like the same word as a great teacher. It means the illumined one or the awakened one. And so Jesus, the Christ, is really a more appropriate way to talk about this man who walked the earth for such a short amount of time and offered so many valuable illumined lessons. So I brought a story from him that talks about the lens of perception in a certain way. It's a story that undoubtedly you've heard some version of. It's found in the Christian Bible, in the Gospel of Luke, in the chapter 10:25. So Jesus has been teaching for a while now in this rendition, and he's becoming a threat in some people's mind. That's that sorting thing that's been going on. So he's teaching about love and acceptance and including everybody, and that the presence of the divine is here among us, and that all we have to do is be available and not worry. Much of his teaching, if you read his lessons, they almost all say, "Fear not, little flock. Don't worry. Your Father in heaven provides," stuff like that. And so, unfortunately, some people perceived his teachings as against the status quo of Judaic thought. So he's being challenged by a Jewish lawyer. And here the lawyer says, "Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus said to him, "Well, what is written in the law? What do you read?" And he replied, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." And Jesus said to him, "You have answered correctly. Do this and you will live." But he, desiring to justify himself, said to Jesus, "And who is my neighbor? And who is my neighbor?" And unfortunately, that's a question that still is being asked to this day. Apparently, there are certain people that aren't really supposed to be in our neighborhoods sometimes, right? So this is what Jesus answered. Jesus replied, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among robbers who stripped him and beat him and departed, leaving him half dead. Now, by chance, a priest was going down that road." A holy person, right? A priest was going down that road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So likewise, a Levite, another form of holy person, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion, and went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine, and then set him on his own beast and brought him to an inn and took care of him. And the next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, "Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, I will repay you when I come back." Which of these 3 do you think, Jesus says, proved neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers? And the lawyer said, "The one who showed mercy on him." And Jesus said, "Go and do likewise." So this story is famously called the Good Samaritan. And what's important to know, if you're not a Bible person, and many of the people who listen to my sermons are not Bible people, so let me tell you that there's some significance in just the 3 people that responded to the man or didn't respond. So the priest was someone that you would expect would have compassion, but he was like, "Oh, no, I'm not dealing with that situation." And the Levite, another from the tribe of Levi in the Jewish tradition, passed him by. But the Samaritan, and the significance of the Samaritan was not lost on Jesus. So in that day, the Samaritans, of course, were what we might call pagans or infidels, or people that did not believe in the true way, the way of Judaism, the one God, the monotheism that was being taught by Judaism and Jesus. And so the Samaritans were no good. They were evil people because they didn't believe in one God. So Jesus draws the Samaritan into the story and says, well, of the three, the two that are supposed to be holy don't do anything, they walk on by. And it's the one that's been vilified who stops, has compassion, binds up the wounds, takes his medicines of oil and wine. Not that we would use those now, but puts him on his beast, takes him to an inn, takes care of him, provides for him. It's the Samaritan who shows compassion. And so when the lawyer says, well, the Samaritan's the neighbor, and Jesus says, well, then go and do likewise, there's two meanings to that teaching. The one is, okay, take care of people. Come on. We're all one. Come on. Show compassion and mercy for everyone that you meet as much as you can. Don't walk by suffering. Try to alleviate it in the ways you know how to do. But the other meaning behind that is also, and don't forget that everyone is our neighbor, that there are no others. There is no other in Jesus' teaching, which is why it was such a threat, because he didn't exclude anybody. He didn't say, well, this teaching is only for Jewish people, or this teaching is only for what would then become called Christians. He said, no, this is the teaching of all the great knowing, is there's one God, there's one present in all things, in and amongst us, that we don't have to worry. It's here. It's blessing us right now. And we are its agents. We are the ones to offer mercy and compassion. So the reason I bring this story to you is it's a perfect example of what happens to you and me with our lenses of perception. Because, the priest and the Levite were not bad people. Obviously they weren't. But they had a lens of perception that they were looking at this person with. Now, I don't know about you, but I deal with this a lot. Every time I drive past a homeless person, I deal with this issue. Every time I see the homeless encampments, I deal with this issue is, what do I do? And 9 times out of 10, I walk along the other side. And so it's not an issue that is some way back in the far distant history past. It's with us. It walks with us still to this day. And the dilemma for all of us, I believe, is how do we offer mercy and compassion? How do we change the lens of our perception so that we know what to do and what not to do in any given situation at any given time? Now, I don't know what the priest and the Levite in that story were thinking, but I could take a good guess. And the guess would be something that might even come into my mind. So I might guess, well, I don't know what happened to this guy. He probably was doing something bad, and that's why he's in this state. That's why he's in this condition. And if he's a bad person, I don't want anything to do with it because, he might hurt me, even though he's half dead. Um, how many times have you looked at a homeless person and said, well, I would give them money, but they're probably just addicted to something, or they're mentally ill, or they're fill in your blank. Lens of perception stops us from offering any kind of compassion. And you know what? As a former therapist or retired therapist, I have to say, it's not always safe. It's not always safe for us to physically, bodily be the one that loads the homeless person into our car and takes them somewhere. But what's always true is that we can offer mercy and compassion in some way, always, always. And I don't know. Do you do that? I'm not sure I do. And it's something that I've started to practice more. So if I don't feel in myself safe, I will do a prayer. I'll do an out loud prayer out the window. I'll do a prayer in my mind. I'll do what I can. And I've started to have things in my car that I can give away. So the story is a story of the lens of perception in one way. And what's powerful about understanding how this operates is that it's not just in situations where there's a difficulty that we don't know how to to work with it. It's everywhere. It's how we look at our world. It's how we perceive the world. Just like Wayne Muller was saying about the egg hunt, where Tim, the potter, saw the sand and he didn't. And so the question I often am asking myself these days is, what am I not seeing that I would like to be aware of? How can I open the lens of my perception, the prism of my experience, to a larger view? And one of the things that's happened for me, and I think you've heard me talk about it a little bit, is for years and years, I did not know how to remain grounded and to speak about social justice issues. I didn't know how to do that. And so I would talk about love and I would talk about compassion and I would talk about the spiritual truths that I know support people in offering help. But I didn't know personally how to engage with issues that had to do with um, diversity, inclusion, equity, and accessibility in any real fashion. I just didn't know how. And as I opened the lens of my perception in this last year of the pandemic with so much social unrest and issues arising, what happened to me was the lens of my perception opened and my heart broke. And it didn't just break once. It broke over and over and over again because it's heartbreaking. It's like seeing a half-dead man who's been attacked on the street. It's like that in all these different ways that we've encountered this last year. And I can see why the lens of my perception couldn't take that in quite the way that I am now. For one thing, this thing that is called privilege, which I'm sure some of you don't like that term, but the truth of the matter is I had a beautiful growing up life with more than enough of anything that I needed. So that's what they mean by privilege. Not only that, but I didn't have to deal with the fact that my skin was a different color than at that point the majority. So as I opened the lens of my perception on these issues of social justice and diversity and inclusion in a brand new way, not only did my heart break, but the door of compassion in that broken heart opened wider. And I was able to see things that I couldn't understand before. And because I could see them, I could then know what to do and what not to do, because now I was seeing them in a way that I hadn't before. And that was a very powerful time for me. It still is. And really, for me, it is the fundamental teaching of Jesus as well. Because as we become more and more illumined, more and more enlightened, which I believe Jesus was, we see more clearly the suffering of the world. And because we're grounded, knowing that the divine is also present, blessing us all, and we're available to the blessing, we have that unique and incredible opportunity to offer a grounded blessing to the suffering that's before us. And so my message on this Easter Sunday, unlike all the Easters that I've spoken before, is this: go and do likewise. It's time for all of us to step up and offer ourselves in new ways, to see beyond the limits of the lens of perception that we've developed thus far, and to reach to those who are suffering in whatever way, and offer what we have, not in some sort of better than thou kind of way, but in a genuine spirit of compassion. So I'll do a prayer for that, because in my own experience, it's not that easy sometimes. It's much easier to walk around. That's why I've been doing it all these years. So join me if you're ready, and even if you're not. Okay, here we go. First, I am grateful. Grateful to be grounded in an infinite intelligence that knows how to do everything, that contains the wisdom of all the ages, past, present, and future, all in the now. And I am grateful to be grounded in a flowing wave of love that has no ending and is always and ever pouring out from the fountainhead of love that dwells within all things. This love and intelligence made the world. This love and intelligence made me. And as I focus on that, I recognize that whatever has been limited in my perception is now wide open to a greater view and a greater intelligence and a greater love flowing in me, as me, through me. As I open the door of compassion in this heart of mine and in the mind of mine, new ideas are born, new visions for what is possible are made visible to me, and I move in new ways in my very life of lives. And in this way, I'm able and ready to offer what I have to the whole of humanity and to my neighbor. And because there is wisdom guiding me in every step of this journey, I know what to do and what not to do in every encounter, in every moment. And always and ever, this love and intelligence guide me. So, I will fear no more. I will go and do what I can do. And I am supported in this by a power greater than anything I can comprehend, an intelligence beyond measure, and a love without fail. And so it is. Truth. All right, so I'd love to tell you a little bit about our announcements. We have some new things in our announcements this week because our wonderful Earth Stewards have started what they're calling the Earth Day Advent Challenge. And maybe you've seen some of these challenges on the Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham Facebook page. But every day for 22 days until Earth Day, every day there's a challenge that you can accept and maybe put into action in some way. Today's challenge, for example, I looked it up, is eliminate plastic in some way, particularly plastics that, the little triangle on the bottom. If it says, if it's a number 3 to number 6, we discovered that, at least in our area, those are not recyclable. And so we've been merrily putting them into the recycle bin, not realizing they don't go anywhere except on the face of Mother Earth. So it's a day to be aware of things like that. The Earth Stewards are also sponsoring 2 walks in nature during this month dedicated to Mother Earth. And they're being led by a wonderful woman who for years has been very aware of marine life and the liminal space between the oceans and the sloughs and the wetlands and the various places where the ocean and the land meet. So she's going to be taking her first walk on Friday the 16th at 1:30 p.m. to Point Whitehorn here in our area. If you would like to join, you can look this up on our calendar and you'll find all the information there, Friday 1:30 on the 16th. And the other one is on April 24th, and that one is at a local nature preserve here in town. And we'd love you to take part in that. And the Earth Stewards also are encouraging people to take advantage of a free virtual screening. So that means for those of you from far away, tune into the Pickford Film Center, which is our local independent film center. And for the 16th through the 25th, I think it is, they're offering a free showing of a documentary called Kiss the Ground. And what the Earth Stewards would love is if you could view that before Earth Day on the 22nd. They're going to be hosting a Zoom discussion of that documentary that evening at 6 p.m. for any of you who have watched the documentary. Absolutely free documentary. You can watch it from the comfort of your home. It's a virtual showing, and we hope you'll take advantage of the wonderful nonprofits that have sponsored that beautiful documentary. Couple of other things. I'm teaching a workshop this Tuesday night from 6 to 8 called Medicine for the Spirit. I hope you'll join me. It's an evening of story and poetry and realization that we'll get to in a variety of interactive ways. So you're welcome to join us. Just sign up at the info@csl-bellingham.org and we'll get you the link for the Zoom. We also this Friday have Women's Circle, which I think for the last time is going to be meeting via Zoom. So whether you're near or far, feel free to join us at 6 p.m. The Zoom link is in the calendar. And next Sunday, the Men's Circle will be meeting via Zoom as well. We have some local poets in our community who are part of a larger gathering that's offering a virtual community grief ritual called Spark in the Dark, a commemoration of COVID-19 loss and resilience. And these are local poets and writers, as well as a larger group of people that have come together to share their work in an effort to assist us all in acknowledging the grief and also acknowledging our resilience to move forward. And that's happening online April 18th at 4 p.m. And you register for this at our local independent bookstore, Village Books. And we'd love you to be a part of that if you would like. The other things I think you're very aware of. Our practitioners are doing a magnificent job of keeping us centered and available to spirit. And so Monday through Friday, they're offering morning prayers at 7 via Zoom. And Monday through Friday in the evening at 8:45, they're offering evening gratitudes and prayers. So please feel free to join them in that. Today, there's two things happening at noon. If you're local with us and you have the ability to come to the center, we're having an outside personal blossoming ceremony at noon. Very short, but very sweet and very poignant, I hope. And if you are not able to join us, there is a Zoom discussion about what I've talked about. That'll be happening at noon. And the link for that is also on the calendar at our website. So feel free to join that discussion. It'll be led by the practitioner and the board member of the day. And I hope you'll enjoy that very much. I also hope that you'll really enjoy this day. It's a day that for many people in the world is a day of celebration, of a lightness and an awareness that life is eternal. And I wish that for you. So to take us out of here, let's turn back to Amber Darlin and have one last song for the road. Thank you for joining me today. Happy Easter.
Well, friends, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's go ahead and sing our way out of service with the song, So It Is. Blessed day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. Soulful praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song. Calling love to the center, lifting all is one. I sing it now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Singing now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. I sing it now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Singing now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. You all have a blessed week, and we'll see you again soon.